How do you figure out as an artist what content to create, and then how do you tie it to the kind of brand that you're developing?
Yeah, for sure. So, like, I would start with you asking, like, what do you want to achieve? What do you want, maybe some kind of result you want to give, or what do you want to share, first of all? Because if your goal it does not align with your content, first of all, it would be really hard to create content, and it will be really hard to stay consistent. So, to ask yourself, like what's my main goal overall, not just Instagram, not just social media, but like what do you want to do? Take a look at your content and ask, like, does it align with my goal? Like, is it inspiring? Well, if yes, well, congratulations, you find yourself, like, what do you need to post?
So once that person has figured out what kind of content that they create, how do they go about actually creating it? So what kind of tools, resources you use to design it? Obviously, Photoshop is very well known, but those that don't necessarily know how to use it, what kind of tools
Yeah.
would you recommend learning?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I would see what are your strengths, because some people may be really good at talking to camera, and some may be really kind of introverts and don't want to talk to cameras. So, like, if you like completely comfortable with camera, just take your phone, like, start recording and edit it in simple, like, editing software for video editing. You can find a lot of those on the App Store or Google Play Store, or you can get Adobe Premiere or Sony Vegas or something like that if you want to go more professional. If you don't feel like you want to be on the video, then create infographics and stuff. You use Photoshop. There is a free alternative called Photopea. Yeah, something like that. Photopea. It's a web-based. It functions exactly like Photoshop, so
Oh, nice. I never
you
heard
can
of it.
use.
I've heard of
Yeah, you can
Canva.
use
Have you
that.
heard of Canva before?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can. Canva is even easier, honestly. Like, you can use that and just, yeah, create what you feel comfortable. Don't, like, really push yourself to create something that you don't like, because that will not work long term. And if your goal is not long term, I don't know if you really should pursue that.
How important would you say is to create like an eye-catching feed, or having a feed that matches with colors or with brand? Like, how do you decide that, first of all, and then how important is it?
Yeah, for sure. Like, in terms of eye catching, that 100% should be eye catching, almost clickbaity. Even if you just post pictures of yourself, try to make them really high quality, something that grabs attention. I would say have some kind of theme or something, but don't feel like you need to have, like, a perfect feed on your Instagram. Majority of the people which see your content are just scrolling through feed, not going to your profile. So
Okay.
there's not much reason to optimize for that look.
So you would say it's important, but maybe like the actual quality of the content is far more important than creating an aesthetic feed. Maybe it's poorer
Yeah,
content.
for sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
also an interesting point, because that means that you don't necessarily need a lot of experience designing. As long as you
Yeah.
have some sort of knowledge, you could already be creating posts that are performing well on the platform. Would you agree to that?
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know how to create content, like, don't have skills, I guess, you will never get those skills if you don't start creating. That's the
Exactly,
simple
yeah.
fact.
So when you are designing the feed, from your experience, what works best in Instagram? Carousels, just one image, using videos?
I would say use all of them. Firstly, because Instagram rewards you when you use all of the features. Create all type of content, because you become a more of a actual human, than rather if you have only pictures or only videos, you kind of seem like almost like a robot.
And would you say that actually being able to record yourself makes you closer to your audience, just because your audience gets to see how you speak and gets to like kind of meet you a little more personally? Would you say that's like important?
Yeah, that's 100%. I mean, people buy from people, people trust people, people like people. They don't really trust just logo. I mean, they trust, but it's the journey to get that trust to buy products or listen to music is far like longer,
Exactly.
compared to when you have you just sharing your face, like you're talking with people and stuff. So yeah,
Exactly.
definitely that.
Moving on to the caption, how would you structure like the caption? Would you maybe summarize the post in the caption, or would the caption just be the title? What's your tips on the kind of captions to create?
With the captions, I would definitely say a lot of people don't give enough context. So they maybe post a picture of themselves and say hello and something like that. I
Okay.
mean, yes, I guess it's cool. And inside that captions, try to share stories about your picture, maybe where you were, why did you take that picture, or if it's an infographic or tutorial. Also give more in-depth maybe explanation in the captions, like give more depth to your content. What I've noticed, like when you post long form captions, people also comment long form comments. So
Okay.
first of all, that's good because
Yeah.
again, better connection with your audience, and second of all, it's better for the algorithm.
How do you prepare them for the growth? So, like, whenever they're almost ready to post, like, what kind of tips would you give them for growth? And that includes just like building your brand, tools like using hashtags. How do you use that, and on and on?
Yeah, and for sure, like use the right hashtags. There's a lot of that goes into that. I share that in the producergram. Look at the average engagement, which the hashtags you want to use get, and look at your average engagements from your post. And if they somewhat match, well, use them. If something from other hashtags, the engagement is way higher than yours, then there is a low chance that you will rank. So
Okay.
that's really simple definition, I guess,
Yeah,
how
it is.
to choose the hashtags.
Then lastly,
For
before
sure.
we move to like the second section of this interview where we're gonna give feedback, driving traffic. Like
Yeah.
even if you have a really nice fan base, but you're not able to bring those people to your website, YouTube channel, music, they're kind of like useless, for you. Obviously, you're building great
Yeah,
relationships, but
right.
you're not using them for what you want them. So, what kind of tips would you give on driving traffic to different places?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, use Instagram bio for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have 10k followers, you can use swipe up, feature, and or just mostly use Instagram bio. Send them to where you want to send them. I always suggest to send some kind of somewhere where you can build your email list, because Instagram could easily ban you one day and you will lose all the followers. And when you have an email list, you control the traffic. You reach 100% of the traffic, and those people, like, they really invested in you because they give you their emails.
So you would say it's really important to like build an email list, and then once you build a close connection, you could share your music maybe first to your email list, and know that
for
those
sure.
people will definitely listen to it first, or not just music. If you have any sort of video or content that you want to create.
Yeah. That's
Awesome.
100%.
Any tips that
Right.
that you've had on building that email list? Maybe some platforms that you used. I know that Mailchimp has worked for me in the past.
In terms of software, yes, Mailchimp, it's free to start. It's definitely, if you never done anything with email, start with this one. It's free. I guess it's free. That's the main topic.
Yeah.
And use
and
that.
it gets the job done. Yeah, probably not, maybe
Yeah,
not
right.
the most professional, but it does get the job done in the beginning.
I mean, later on, if you want to be more professional, I guess, start using other software. I personally use ActiveCampaign. That's more on the expensive side, but I do a lot of email stuff right now, so I definitely want to have professional software which is easy to use and that gets the job done really well.